Hey everyone, this is Rella from Rella's Wondercrafts, and today I am going to do a quick video on how to do the like the chocolate drips that have been pretty popular, and I'm going to show you how to do those without using epoxy. So these are the coffee mugs that have been pretty popular as of late. It's kind of scuffed looking because I just sanded this. It still needs another coat of epoxy. But you see here how I have the drips just kind of coming down. I did not use epoxy for those. And this, to me, I feel this is a much easier way to do this. There is still going to be a little bit of texture to these, which I mean is fairly normal. So I'm actually not doing these specific chocolate drips. I have this Bendy in the ink machine tumbler that I'm doing for a friend. And I thought it'd be neat to add the ink drips to the whole tumbler. If you know what Bendy in the ink machine is, then you'll understand why I want to add these ink drips. If you're not familiar with Bendy in the ink machine, it's a video game that my kids love and it's pretty popular with some younger kids and things like that. Okay, so the way that I do this is, of course, I use Mod Podge. This is just the regular Mod Podge. I believe it's glossy. It's what I use for all of my Mod Podge things. And then also, I'm just going to use black acrylic paint. You don't have to just use acrylic paint. I know that there are some pigments that you can buy that people use. I know that I believe Counterculture, they have pigments that you can add to the Mod Podge to kind of get the effect that you want to. This one I use Mod Podge and brown acrylic paint. So I just want to make sure that this is going to be black because the black and the white obviously mixed, it can make a gray color. So let's get this black looking. And this is super easy. I wanted to share this just because I don't mind using epoxy, but this kind of takes out like that wait time, consistency and all that you have to wait for with Mod Podge. Or I'm sorry, with epoxy, I mean. I'm going to add a little bit more black to it. And it's probably not a bad idea to get some of those pigments that are specifically meant for these kind of projects, because like, you know, with the black, of course you can add as much black as you need to, but the pigments just seem like they have a fuller color to them. I'm not saying that acrylic paints don't, because I love acrylic paints, but sometimes it's better to get those pigments. So I think this is good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. So, all right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start on this side, the back side. And you just, so I have my cup here. I've got my popsicle stick. And you're going to take this and you're just going to slide it across. And then as you can see, it starts to drip. I think you can see that. It's still not as dark as I want it to be though. So let's let that set for a minute. I'm going to add a little bit more acrylic paint to this. And you can see it's dripping down. And the good thing about using it this way is that it kind of gives you control over the ink drips. Because if you don't want it to be quite as thick, because this one just keeps on dripping down. And that's okay. And so you're just gonna take it and you're gonna do it again. You see that? So, got some ink here. I call it ink, it's paint though. Mod Podge. It's kind of hard to see. And then if you want to come down a little bit further, you can just move it down a bit. And if you want the ink to be a bit fuller, if you want the drip to be a bit fuller, you just add a little extra to it. So this one, since it was such a gob, will probably end up coming down. So we're gonna let that set for just a minute. And then of course you can guide it down a bit if you want it to be a bit thicker in places. And I feel like this also gives you more control. I think I already said that, but I do feel like it gives you more control than doing the epoxy. So that was a little hard to see. Let me turn on the light real quick and see if that helps. There we go. Yeah, that helps. So hopefully you can see that and how it drips down. I'm going to show you one more time. So you just take a gob of it. Of course, you see the gob right here. And you are going to, see it's already dripping off of it. You're going to take the gob down and you're going to slide this. Oops. Sorry guys, I did it the wrong way. There we go. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this one more time. You'll take a gob of it, just like that, and you will just slide it. Bendy's face is right there. So around Bendy's face, I don't want it to be quite as much. And does not take very long at all to do this, which is great. I'm going to guide it down a little bit. Ooh, see, I think this is turning out so neat looking. And these are supposed to be ink drips, so kind of like that, the round at the end, I think is neat looking. I'm just going to guide it a bit here. I think this is going to turn out to be a really neat looking cup. So make sure you don't put your finger in the other side. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to finish up the rest of this around. And that is the easy way of doing the drip method with Mod Podge instead of epoxy. Hopefully this video helped out, kind of make things a little bit easier as you venture into, you know, making your cups like these, or, you know, whatever kind of cup you're working on. If you guys have any questions, just comment below. I'm always happy to assist. I do have a group that's dedicated to my business, which is Rella's Wondercrafts. You can find me on Facebook. I also have a learning group as well called Learning the Craft with Rella. And it's not quite, I don't have very many members in it as right now, just because it's Christmas time and I have a lot of orders I'm trying to get done, and I've not had a whole lot of time to focus on it. But just feel free to reach out to me via Facebook. I have Instagram and TikTok and all that. I'm not quite as active on them at the moment. My time right now is just dedicated to Christmas items. So, and I will hopefully post the finished product of this as the thumbnail for the video. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I'm going to show you this side as well, so you can see those little cute ink drips coming down. Yeah. All right, guys. Until next time, see ya.